Welcome back. Taiwan's Democratic Progressive Party leader Tsai Ing-wen has reacted to the passing of Hong Kong's new national security law by announcing a humanitarian action plan. Now, Hong Kongers seeking to move to the island will be referred to a new office opened to help. Meantime, on Tuesday, Article 43 of the law took effect. Among other things, Article 43 requires foreign and Taiwan organizations and agents to provide information on activities in Hong Kong. So, now, what's behind this clause? Why is the DPP fanning the flames over Hong Kong? Joining me from Taipei is Joanna Lei, a former Taiwan legislator, and from Hong Kong again, Henry Ho, founder and chairman of the One Country, Two Systems Youth Forum, and in Beijing, Professor Gong again at the University of International Business and Economics. Welcome to you all. So let me start with Joanna this time. Implementation rules for Article 3 of the National Security Law for Hong Kong took effect on Tuesday. The rules specify 7 measures for policy or police enforcement, including requiring political organizations and agents of foreign countries and China's Taiwan to provide information on activities concerning Hong Kong. The article highlights Taiwan here in particular. Why is that?
Well, certainly there are 2 reasons. One is historical. When cross-strait relations started developing, Hong Kong is being used as a major hub, and there are political organizations or quasi-political organizations being formed in Hong Kong to provide linkages across Taiwan Strait. And the second one certainly is last year when Tsai Ing-wen ran her election campaign, she has openly and very overtly supported the Hong Kong movement and have even being accused of providing actual support or training. And Taiwan did play somewhat of a role in the Hong Kong situation, leading to the passing of the national security law, and Taiwan's role is being investigated with no surprise.
Henry, your thoughts on this particular clause, Article 43?
Well, actually, it relates to powers given to the police for searching premises, about interception of communication, about confiscation of property, restriction of suspects to leave Hong Kong, etc. Actually, these powers, I think many of them are already present in Hong Kong's law. For the interception of communication, before it was authorized by the Hong Kong courts, but for this new law, it will be authorized by the chief executive. And this raises some questions by people. But I think this is common practice in Western countries and many countries in the world. And this stems from kind of mistrust on the new law by people. But I think as the law is put into practice and as there are more and more cases coming up, these kind of worries will prove ungrounded.
Professor Gong.
Yeah, well, I mean, Article 43 refers to something very basic of any sovereign government. In other words, any political organization of a foreign country wants to operate in another country, you have to report. You have to, think of this scenario in the United States. Even messing up with a DNC server, would it be regarded as interference in internal politics? Let alone here in Hong Kong. You have these political organizations sending money in, training people here for political cause. This is just unthinkable. I mean, no country in the world can tolerate activities like this. So I think to criticize Hong Kong on this point is just total hypocrisy.
Now, Joanna, on Tuesday, Taiwan's Mainland Affairs Council strongly condemned Article 43. Taiwan leader Tsai Ing-wen said that if necessary, her administration will consider countermeasures. Why is Tsai Ing-wen reacting so strongly, and what kind of countermeasures is she talking about?
Well, certainly she has not unveiled any countermeasure, but only said that she would take it under advisement or in consultation with other allies. And in that sense, I think it all depends on, in the bilateral relationship, Taiwan has any lever or not. In the official protest, it is certainly understandable because Mainland Affairs Council see this as a potential threat to expand Hong Kong's law enforcement power and potentially can threaten its operation in Hong Kong. However, I do agree with your other commentators. In any country, there are laws concerning the national security issues, and they oftentimes would authorize police certain power for investigation and law enforcement. And the last point is, a lot of people seek refuge in Taiwan thinking that there is no extradition treaty, and therefore, even if they were deemed as being charged in criminal charges, there are no potential danger for them to be extradited back to Hong Kong. And that still is the case with or without the national security law. So the current status quo is maintaining at this point.
Now, here's another official statement. This is from Zhu Fenglian, spokesperson for the Taiwan Affairs Office at the State Council. Now, he said, quote, Taiwan's Democratic Progressive Party, that's DPP, has once again exposed as, quote-unquote, evil intentions to interfere in Hong Kong's affairs, create chaos in Hong Kong, and seek Taiwan independence. And any attempts to meddle in Hong Kong affairs, attack one country, two systems, and split the country are doomed to fail. That's his words. Professor Gong, is this a warning, or are there actions to back up the words?
Well, certainly this is a warning, and I think there will be actions if this warning is not taken seriously. I think what he said is actually very true. It's a fact, I think, and Mrs. Taiwan, he himself, Ms. Taiwan, I'm sorry, himself admitted that Taiwan government openly interferes into Hong Kong's political activities by sponsoring various organizations, by sending money, by training people, by providing refuge to people who are criminals, in my opinion. So these are things that should not be tolerated, in my opinion. Now, the notion that he will consult with allies, I feel like it's almost laughable. I mean, Taiwan has like 15 diplomatic relation countries, and many people in Taiwan can't even find these places on a map, let alone talking to its allies regarding the Hong Kong affair. So I think what ultimately she's doing is basically using these issues as a way to speak to the domestic audience. I think she's mostly talking to her supporters, her base in Taiwan. And I think his real concern for people's benefits, well-beings in Hong Kong, it's quite disingenuous in my opinion.
Well, Taiwan has also declared Taiwan's support for Hong Kong's activists, and the Taiwan-Hong Kong Office for Exchanges and Services, that office was opened on July 1st. That is to assist Hong Kongers seeking to move to the island. Joanna, according to Taiwan's Mainland Affairs Council, the office will provide special consultation and assistance to Hong Kongers, but how much help can the office really provide? What functions will this office play?
Well, even under the current Hong Kong-Macau Act, anybody who needs emergency assistance can be assisted under the current registration, but the office will provide a one-stop window for all the potential needs. However, I think even without this office, Taiwan has provided certain assistance to people who fled Hong Kong and moved to Taiwan since as early as January, February this year. But those people have not yet decided whether they will be staying in Taiwan, since Taiwan did not have any law for political asylum or any stature of the sort. I think Taiwan, in a very major underpinning her all actions, is seeing the National Security Act as an act to subjugate Hong Kong into its own system. In other words, the one country, two system is being seen as threatened, not only by Taiwan, but primarily by the United States. So I do believe that a lot of her statement is not just for Taiwan's local conception. She is also making such statements to express to the United States that she is standing on the united front with the United States.
And increasing numbers of Hong Kongers have been moving to Taiwan since last year. According to official statistics, over 5,000 people became Taiwan residents last year, a 41% jump from 2018. Henry, let me bring you into this. Between January and May this year, applications for residency permits from Hong Kong citizens more than doubled compared with the same period last year, and government officials expect the number to further rise. How do you interpret all of this?
Well, I wonder whether this trend can be sustainable. Some young people in Hong Kong, they may be fascinated with Taiwan culture and way of life, but in actual fact, the standard of living, the salary level, and public service and infrastructure in Taiwan is worse than Hong Kong. And they may not be able to find a job in Taiwan, and even if they do, the salary is like less than half of Hong Kong. So I think Taiwan is also undergoing an economic downturn due to the COVID-19 pandemic. And my guess is even people are moving to Taiwan, they may come back to Hong Kong after 1 or 2 years. In particular, when the national security law is in place for some time, people will realize that it actually is protecting Hong Kong people's freedom and rule of law rather than endangering it.
And Joanna, what's your assessment of this? Many Hong Kongers are now staying in Taiwan on extended tourist visas, and only some have work permits. I mean, what is the public reaction to all of this in Taiwan?
Well, so in addition to the first two categories, there are also a lot of people coming to Taiwan using investment visa and will seek an investment status to stay in Taiwan. So you do see a lot of Hong Kong influences even in Taipei or other major cities. For the young people, they do see a potential threat for the job market, but the rest of the Taiwans still welcome Hong Kong people to migrate or to even temporarily stay in Taiwan, so long as it doesn't jeopardize the relationship between Taiwan and mainland China and the United States and the rest of the world.
All right, thank you very much to my guests, Joanna Lei, a former Taiwan legislator, Mr. Henry Ho, founder and chairman of the One Country, Two Systems Forum, and Professor Gong at the University of International Business and Economics. And this is the edition of The Point. As always, follow us on Facebook and Twitter using the handle The Point with LX. Download the CGTN app to watch our show, or go to YouTube and look for CGTN The Point. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.